Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I don't give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports World Radio. Glad everybody could be with us today. Got a jam-packed show like we do each and every day here on Sports World Radio and SportsWorldRadio.com. Jam-packed show, like I just said. Let's get all the particulars out of the way. I am the host, Jeff Escow. We'll bring in the co-host in just a minute, Sean Mann. The update man, we'll get to him in just a second. We'll get all the particulars out of the way. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to our show. If you want to hang out in our chat room, head on over to Spreaker. That's Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. Get yourself a free account. Type in Sports World Radio over there on Spreaker.com, and then come on into our chat room. The show will come up at the bottom of your screen. Click the little bubble icon on the right-hand side there, and the chat room will open up, and you can start chatting away. If you don't want to do that, give us a call at 619-663-3715. 619-663-3715 is the number to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. Facebook.com/Sports World Radio. That's Facebook.com/Sports World Radio. Follow us on Facebook. You might as well, like us on Facebook, and you might as well follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/Sports World Radio. Twitter.com/Sports World Radio. With all the, one more thing. If you're hanging out at SportsWorldRadio.com, and even if you're not hanging out at SportsWorldRadio.com listening to us, head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com. Click the little donate tab right there in the top and donate to Sports World Radio and help us keep on doing what we like to do here for you, which is entertain you with some killer sports talk 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. So donate to Sports World Radio and keep us doing what we like to do here. Now, with all the particulars out of the way, what do you say? Hey, we bring in that co-host of ours, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to December 30th, 2014 here for Sports World Radio, 6:07 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:07 p.m. on the West. Weather right now, very cloudy, a high of 11 degrees, sunshiny, but very, very cold with snow on the ground. Overall, doing good.
You got snow on the ground?
Yeah, we had a big snowstorm a few days ago.
Ha-ha.
That's what I get for where I'm living at.
That's right, because you know damn well I don't got no snow here.
That's right. I know it's always sunny and beautiful in sunny San Diego.
Damn Skippy. That's why I live where I live. Well, it's kind of gray today. It's not that sunny. It's kind of gray today, but it's okay. As long as it's not snow. Do you know we're going to get snow in our mountains?
That's right.
You know
Saw
that?
that.
We're going to get snow in our mountains coming down to about the 2,000 level, which is about 10 minutes away from my house. So even if I wanted to go to the snow, I could, but I don't want to because who the hell wants the snow?
Exactly.
I sure as hell don't.
Anyway, we got a sports show we got to do. This is Sports World Radio, 30th of December. It's a Tuesday. Tomorrow, of course, is New Year's Eve already. Hard to believe December and the whole year is coming to a close.
Wow, it's the end of the year already, huh?
And it's, in 2015, it'll be right there.
That's crazy, man. Hey, let me ask you a question. You asked me if I, before we start talking sports, you asked me if I saw what happened in your town.
Yeah.
No, I did not. What happened?
Well, it's amazing. Breaking news came in. It all happened this morning. I was actually working on my college course with my tutor. The news came that a 2-year-old toddler pulled out a gun at a Walmart, and it's only 4 or 5 blocks from where I live. Shot and killed her mother. This 2-year-old toddler did.
A toddler shot and killed her mother?
Yeah.
A 2-year-old toddler took the gun out of the mother's purse and shot her?
Yeah.
What the hell's the mother doing with a gun in her purse in the first place?
It's crazy. Like, when I got done at noon, I went home because I had to get prepared for the show and work on my college course. And they had police cops there. The local news was there. Traffic was so slow. And I just said, I don't care what, I'm going to get home. Because originally I was going to go to that Walmart. I know it very well. I've been there many times. And it was in the electronics where they were looking at. And that's what happened. And so they shut down and closed the whole Walmart.
It's a good thing you didn't go to Walmart, huh?
Oh, it is. It is a good thing. So,
hey, you know something? I just looked out my window. Guess what?
What?
It's raining. It's raining here in sunny San Diego. How about that?
There you go.
It's raining here in beautiful sunny San Diego. How about them apples right there? So you had a little excitement in your town, huh?
Yeah, excitement, and just really, really sad for that family now. And of course, now that 2 is going to have to live with that the rest of his life. Because he probably thought that the gun was like a toy, reached in there and took it and shot her. And I know for people who are now, that memory is going to be real, real tough for them to get over that.
Rat bastards.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was just all kinds of police, and now they've got NBC News. Brian Williams is going to be talking about it. CNN. All of them are now going to be getting it from Creme 2 News. And
how far is that from your house?
I drive, it's like 10 or 15 minutes, and if I walk, it's about half. So it's like 4 or 5 blocks away.
Wow. 4 or 5 blocks away?
Yeah, it's not that far.
Wow. Holy freaking moly, Batman. That's pretty crazy, huh?
It is, Jeff, and they had to shut down and evacuate the whole Walmart. They closed it. I don't even know when they're going to open it again.
That was your big excitement for the day over there, huh?
Yeah, the shooting happened at 11:15 a.m. today.
Wow. That's just crazy, man.
That's nuts.
Not right.
Yeah.
What's these people coming to? That's why you don't keep a purse in your freaking... That's why you don't keep a gun in your freaking purse. That's why you don't keep a purse in your freaking gun, okay?
Well, it has been proven that there are a lot of people that when they go shopping like to have a gun with them for protection. And for a woman having a gun in their purse, or a man having like a gun somewhere in a bag or something like that. I don't know, but a lot of people like to use it for protection. It is crazy.
Man. That's just nuts right there. That's just crazy. Really, just freaking bananas crazy. Hey, so let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
It is Tuesday. Normally we talk about this on Monday, but we didn't do a show yesterday because I had some problems on my end. I don't need to get into it.
Sure.
Our fantasy football league.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do last week? The last week of the season. I got only 8 stinking points.
I would have to check mine and see how well I did in mine. I don't think I did very well. Remember, I was leading, and then I think AA and Ebo overtook me.
You stink. You know who, you know who won?
Who?
Geo.
Oh, Geo! The Geo Man won.
Geo Man, Death Man won. He had 172 points. AA came in second with 162, tied with Des Dispenser, which is Nicholas, tied with you at 162. So we had a tie at second place between AA, Nicholas, and yourself, and our defending champion Ebo ended up in third place. Me and Encyclopedia Man are bringing up the rear. Encyclopedia Man ended up in 10th. Him and I ended up in 10th place. And Pick'em Like the Wind, Frank ended up and tied for 6th place, or 7th place, or whatever the hell it is.
That's quite a big thing for the standings.
We got smoked.
Yeah, I know I did. I took a nosedive. I went dipped down big time.
You ended up in freaking second place, you freaking hump. 10 points behind Geo.
Yeah, I finished in second, but
now,
it was tough to overtake.
I am sure In fact, I'm almost positive that the playoffs are going to continue this going. We have 4 games to pick this week. 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. I'm making a little change note here. We will be making our picks for our Saturday's game and our Sunday's game on Friday's show.
Sweet.
No show Saturday this week. Friday's show, we'll be picking our playoff game.
All right.
In the second hour of the show, we'll be doing our pick-em games, pick our 4 games. We'll bring the gang in, and we'll have some fun. All right? Program note for Friday's show. We're doing a show this Friday. We're taking off tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. We will be back on Friday the 2nd for our Friday show to make our picks for the games on Saturday and Sunday. With that being said, let's run to our first break of the day, and then we'll come back and we'll get into some sports talk. You're listening to the Jeff Escow Show, man, on
Sports World Radio.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear, and do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov. This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, right here on Sports World Radio, of course, except for always the end of the year where we take our holiday break. No show tomorrow, no show on Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. No show on Wednesday, no show on the 1st. We're giving the guys 2 days off. We will be back on Friday the 2nd for our Friday show, and then we'll be back on Monday for our regular full week, starting next Monday, the 5th of January, all week long. We'll be back and rocking and rolling like we normally are here on Sports World Radio. First topic of the day, Sean, what do you got for me, buddy?
All right, Jeff, the first story we got of the day to put everything else behind. Let's go to the NFL and kind of recap some of these games. The Dallas Cowboys have had a mission all along, and that was to be pretty much undefeated. They are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They blow out, blast, and destroy the Washington Redskins by a score of 44-17. And Gary, wherever you're listening, hail to the Redskins. We'll have to wait another year.
You suck, Gary. I spoke to him on Skype the other night. He's not too thrilled. He's not happy.
I bet he wouldn't be. The Cowboys prepped for the playoffs Sunday with the 44-17 win. As everybody knows, they clinched the NFC East Division title for the first time since the 2009 Dallas Cowboys did that, and they finally ended their playoff losing skid. However, Dallas is, Jeff, 2-7 in the last 9 playoff games. They will open up, the Cowboys will, at home against the Detroit Lions on Sunday.
Yeah. And you want to know something?
What?
You want to know something? I'm kind of really happy. I was kind of pissed off early this morning because I was up. But I'm kind of happy. And Dominic Sue won his appeal and will be playing against the Cowboys. Yeah! And if I remember correctly, Detroit Lions have the number 1 rushing defense in the league. And Cowboys have the number 1 rushing offense in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to give, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
And I hope it's the offense and not the defense.
Tony Romo has a 1-3 career record in the playoffs.
It's going to be
Ask
1-4.
what's different this time.
It's going to be 1-4 after Sunday, my friend.
He said, quote, I'm different. So I'm excited about that aspect. I'm a different player than I was. Now you go out and do it and win playoff games and have a chance to win that Lombardi trophy.
Hey, the last time he was in the playoffs, wasn't he dating Jessica Simpson?
I believe so. And, of course, Dallas was actually able to win a playoff game against the Eagles before they lost 34-3 to the Minnesota Vikings.
He's not. They're going to be 1. What are they? 1-3 right now.
Romo his career in the postseason is 1-3 in the NFL playoffs.
1-4
as a starter.
Going to be 1-4 after Sunday's game.
Josh is funny. He says the NFL is turning into the NBA. They're going to do everything in their power to get the championship match they want to see. So get ready for a lot of referee action going on. That's why I'm seriously indifferent about the playoffs this year.
Okay, Josh, with that statement right there, Josh Lopez, our program director and producer of the show, with that statement right there, Joshy, who do you think that the NFL wants in the Super Bowl? Huh? On their big shot? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm big shot?
He'll probably say the Patriots will be one team, and then Josh also says Romy, Rover, Homo.
How about we get the Patriots and Seattle in the Super Bowl?
That's what I'm kind of thinking we'll see for a Super Bowl matchup, Jeff, between the Patriots and the Seahawks. Dallas, they have a chance, but I don't see it happening. They have to go into Seattle. Remember, if anybody's going to win, they have to go through the Pacific Northwest and defeat the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay,
and that's not going to be very easy against Pete Carroll's Seahawks.
Josh has got New England versus Seattle or New England versus Dallas. So he's got the AFC representative as New England. Okay, so he's got your team as the AFC representative.
There you go.
He's just not sure who the NFC is, whether it's going to be Seattle or Dallas. He doesn't even stick Green Bay in there.
No, he doesn't.
I think it's either going to be Seattle or Green Bay.
Josh doesn't want to see Green Bay in there. That's his problem. That's what he wants because he's so sick of Aaron Rodgers.
So he must be really happy that Sue had a suspension lifted.
Yep.
You know, I like to see New England and Seattle, with Seattle winning back-to-back Super Bowls. When was the last
possibility? And I know New England has to play the Seahawks is not going to be easy. I know they played Seattle a couple years ago, and that was not an easy game. The Patriots had a 23-10 lead, and then they ended up losing that game at Seattle. So we'll see. And speaking of the Patriots, they played against the Buffalo Bills.
When was the last time a team went to back-to-back Super Bowls?
The last time a team went to back-to-back Super Bowls, I think, Jeff, if I can recollect correctly, it would be the Denver Broncos. They went in 1997 and won that. That was against Green Bay. And then the 98 Broncos, they defeated the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. So I think that's the last time. Oh, yeah, and actually New England was a team that went back-to-back. That was 03 and 04.
How happy are you that you're not a Jets fan no more?
Very happy I'm not a Jets fan anymore. I'll get to them in just a second. Speaking of New England, they played Buffalo. It was pretty much an ugly game for the New England Patriots, but I was expecting that they're probably not going to start a lot of their starters. Brady was 8 of 16, 80 yards, and then they were backup quarterback. So I was like saying, that's fine, take out some of the starters. They don't need to really worry about that. So now New England knows, Jeff, that they can finally rest up their players and get ready for their first round bye and watch and see who they will be playing a week from this Saturday. Now for Buffalo, they finally beat the Patriots. The Bills had not won against the Patriots in Foxborough since like 01 or 2000. They had lost 13 straight meetings at New England.
And your point is?
Point is, the Bills can finally realize, hey, they didn't make the playoffs, but the Bills can be happy that they can finally end a long losing skid against New England. And speaking of which, the next matchup we get to, yes, the New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins in this game. The Jets go into Miami and they blow out the Dolphins by a score of 37-24. They finally were able to get 2-6 on the road. But as we continue on with the Jets, the breaking news yesterday on Black Monday, Rex Ryan and the Jets general manager fired and gone.
A lot of coaches fired and general managers fired and gone yesterday. It was Black Monday. What did you expect? Anything different?
I was expecting it like any other Black Monday, that you would realize coaches would be leaving and accepting a... Oh, here's what Josh says. Get me Baltimore versus Carolina, baby.
What, in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Hey, Josh, what are you? Pulling a Adrian right there? You trying to make Adrian happy?
How happy and lucky is Adrian? That rat bastard Sunday went from not being in the playoffs to being in the playoffs to not being in the playoffs to making the playoffs.
The Ravens are in, so they earned a wild card berth Sunday by defeating the Browns 20-10.
Son of a bitch.
Baltimore will open up against I believe it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think.
It is. It's the Steelers, man.
That old rivalry between Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but these two teams know each other so well, I don't even think Pittsburgh has a home field advantage in this game.
They know each other well, Jeff, and you have a good point there, because both of these teams do not like each other. They've had playoff history before, and I expect to see a war and maybe some brawls between the Ravens and the Steelers. And Wes, you better hope and pray that the Steelers win. Otherwise, I'm coming right after you on Monday, because you know what? You posted on my wall on Facebook about the Steelers being the AFC North champions.
Screw them. I know for a fact that there's going to be two people. One person's going to be happy, the other person's going to be sad, right, Wes? So either Adrian's going to be happy or sad, or Wes is going to be happy and sad. And you want to know something? I'm going to say this right now, Sean, before the game even happens. I'm going to say it right now, so when it actually happens, you can say, boy, Jeff, how did you know that? You called that one. When Pittsburgh loses, Wes will blame the referees. Watch.
Exactly. And me and a buddy of mine on Facebook, we saw that he was blowing up my wall with the Pittsburgh Steelers being the AFC North champions. And I said, Wes, what's going to happen when the Steelers lose? You'll rip the officials just like you did in 2013, the last game, and said that San Diego got lucky and that the officials screwed the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's exactly what he'll do.
He's still freaking bitching about that playoff game last year. And it's a different year, man. Come on, dude. You're in the playoffs now, you rat bastard.
And saying that Jeff doesn't know anything about football.
Yeah, I don't know anything about football. Go scratch my left ass, okay? Scratch my left cheek ass. Okay, Wes? So that's a big game for two of our fans, right? At least two of our fans.
Oh,
Wes,
yes, it is, Jeff.
Wes,
I know I'm going to be
Pittsburgh
thinking
fan,
of Wes, and I'll be thinking of Adrian.
And Adrian, the Baltimore fan. Now, we went on the air on Saturday and said Baltimore's done because San Diego's going to win, and those sons of bitches lost, and Baltimore snuck in there. So now San Diego is sitting at home, and Baltimore and Pittsburgh are going to be playing in the freaking playoffs against each other. These two teams know each other. So it's going to be the first game Saturday I'm not too thrilled with. I don't really care. The second game Saturday I'll be enamored with and I'll watch. I will probably miss the Sunday morning game, but I will make the afternoon game for sure because I'll be rooting for Detroit for sure. I mean, you look at these four games on these four games coming up this weekend, 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. If you look at them, you can pretty much look and see who I'm going to pick. At least in 3 of the 4 games, correct?
Correct. Yep.
At least 3 of the 4 games. If you know me and you've been listening to our show, Sports World Radio, and our Saturday show, NFL Real Talk, you pretty much know who I'm going to pick in the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game, the Indianapolis-Cincinnati game, and the Dallas-Detroit game. You pretty much know who I'm going to pick in those games.
Josh goes, screw Pittsburgh, shove that stupid towel up your dirty air. And Josh goes, how crazy is it that the NFC South team gets the home game and will win LMAO? And on that note, we'll talk about that after our second commercial break there, Josh and Jeff.
I agree with you. We'll be right back to talk about that particular topic right there when we get back. You're listening to Jeff Escott Showman on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Millionaires are being made worldwide, all season long at DraftKings.com. America's favorite one-week fantasy football website. 1 week fantasy means no season-long commitment, so you can play whenever you want. You got a player who's hurt? No problem. Injuries won't derail your shot at victory because it's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on your way to winning huge cash payoffs. And just this season alone, one lucky listener turned $10 into $5,000, and another turned $2 into $10,000. Plus, we've been crowning new millionaires virtually every week, all season long at DraftKings.com. So you could be next. What are you waiting for? Imagine winning $1 million in one day just for playing fantasy football at DraftKings. Make sure you log on to DraftKings.com right away and use the promo code Spreaker to play for free in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Don't forget to enter Spreaker at DraftKings.com today. You can't win if you don't play. DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escott, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. I guarantee it that it's the best sports show on the internet. It's a sports show you've never ever heard before, never gonna hear like again, only here at Sports World Radio. All right, Sean, before we went to break, we were talking about...
Before we went to break, Jeff, we were talking about the NFC South. The division has been clinched by, ding, 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 the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers will be hosting the Arizona Cardinals this weekend.
There's no way in hell that a team at 7-9 should be making the playoffs.
It's happened twice. It happened to the Seattle Seahawks a few years ago, and now it's the second time. The Carolina Panthers, who are 7-8-1, will host Arizona in a wild card playoff game next Sunday. The losing record didn't keep the Panthers from celebrating their first back-to-back playoff seasons in franchise history, and Ron Rivera, the coach of the Panthers, very happy with the outcome of this game.
I'm not. Why is there a team in the playoffs that's got a record at 7-9? You know what you should have done in the NFL? The NFL is... How do you allow a team that's 7-9 in the freaking playoffs? What they should have done was no team in that division should have made the playoffs. They should have put somebody else in.
Frank, you hit it right there. If you look at it, Arizona, Carolina is a garbage game.
I'm not even going to watch it.
Tell you.
You know what? I'm dying to see what the ratings is for that game.
Saturday is when it happens. I can't wait. And hopefully, Josh, if you could, producer man, if you could find the ratings for that game and tell us the outcome for Monday's show of next week, that would be great.
7-8-1. Thank you, Josh. 7-8-1. What a joke.
It is a joke.
You should be ashamed of yourselves that you made the playoffs with a record at 7-8-1.
The game is on ESPN, Frank?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, the game is on. They're doing that. ESPN has that's the only game that's on ESPN. The rest of the games are either on Fox or on NBC. That's ridiculous, man. I don't know.
It is a garbage game, Frank. You'll probably be sitting there watching it on Saturday night saying, good Lord, why are these Panthers 7-8-1 in?
Sean, the only people that are going to be watching that game are the people in Carolina and the people that live in Arizona. Because I ain't watching it.
I might watch it. I know it's NFL playoffs, but Arizona's got a quarterback problem. You got a Panther team below 500.
Look, Josh, it's like watching a Padres versus Rockies game. Why'd you have to throw the Padres in there, dude?
You had to throw them in there just to get Jeff upset there, Josh.
Why'd you have to throw the Padres in there?
This game does not deserve prime time on Saturday night or Sunday.
It's not Saturday night. First of all, it's 1:35 in the afternoon, the game.
Well, I think who was it? Was it Paul Tagliabue or Roger Goodell that made the change with all the division division winners?
It's a 4:30 Eastern start. It's a 1:30 Pacific start. They're playing in the Pacific. It's an afternoon game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an evening game. The evening game is the 5:15 p.m. game for me. 8:15 on the East Coast, the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. That's an evening game.
Paul Tagliabue, that's right, Frank. He made the change with the divisions, and I kind of had a question about that, saying, well, I said, doesn't that give teams that aren't very good the advantage? And Josh goes, LOL, sorry, I had to do it. Here's another comparison. Utah Jazz versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
You know something? I would rather go watch a high school basketball game than watch that football game. In fact, I might go over to the high school and watch a high school basketball game.
Well, what would have happened, Jeff, and I know how you are about the theory of if the Falcons would have won, they would have been the second 7-9 team to get in and win the division, but that didn't happen.
No, because they couldn't beat a freaking team that's 7-7. Or what were they, 6-8?
6-8-1 the Panthers
They were 6-8-1 before they won on Sunday, right? They couldn't beat a freaking team that was 6-8-1. They don't deserve to be in the freaking playoffs.
Well, here's a stat. The Falcons are 10-22 since falling to San Francisco in the 2012 NFC Championship game.
That's why they got rid of their head coach.
Yes, another news on that. Just like Rex Ryan getting fired from the New York Jets, the Atlanta Falcons, they fired Mike Smith.
Well, not only did the Jets fire Rex Ryan, they fired their GM, too.
Yep.
Which is the right thing to do. A lot of coaches. Hey, speaking of coaches, how happy are you that Chicago fired their freaking head coach over there, Mr. Chicago Bears fan, producer boy?
And Frank, you too. What are your thoughts about the Bears firing their coach?
Yeah. In fact, Frank, you hold your response until you come on the air.
Oh, yeah. That's good, Jeff. That's a good way to look at it.
You hold your response until you come on the air. Because after we're going to go to an update at the quarter of the hour, and then we're going to go to commercial. And after the commercial, we're going to bring Frank in a little bit early because normally Frank joins us in the second hour of the show. but we're going to bring him in a little early because I want to hear what he has to say about that.
If you look at this game between the Bears and the Vikings, it didn't matter what was going to happen. Both teams were not good this year, didn't make the playoffs. Vikings ended on a big note. They go 7-9 after everything they dealt with Adrian Peterson. The Bears, of course, a disastrous season at 5-11. So game that was meaningless. But then the big news, of course, shocked all of Chicago. Then, since the Bears fired their coach Trestman after 2 years,
they should have never hired him to begin with.
Josh goes, I'm kind of insulted by my city doing backflips and cartwheels when someone loses their job, but it had to happen.
Yeah, but who wants to really take that job with Cutler as the quarterback?
That's a question. The Bears have got to look at a good coach, look at some good candidates out there, figure out who can be the man that can coach that team and get the Bears to the Super Bowl and win their second Super Bowl championship since 1985. There's a lot of speculation and people be wondering what kind of a future the Bears really have.
Who's out there? Really?
Josh goes, Dr. Phil. Well, how about this? Josh and Frank, would Rex Ryan be a fit? Do you think, Buddy Ryan used to work with Mike Ditka on that 85 team. Do you think Rex Ryan could be a possibility to maybe go to Chicago and be the Bears head coach?
It's a possibility. He can end up freaking anywhere. And we still don't know if New Orleans is going to fire whatchamacallit, right?
Or maybe you'll get Mike Smith from Atlanta. Maybe Mike Smith is a possibility for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, you're going to see a couple of these guys that get fired in the last couple of days with new teams for sure.
Josh goes, I have playing experience. I'll be the defensive coordinator. Frank goes, it involves Ryan being defensive coordinator. You don't think Rex would be a good head coach, Frank, with the Chicago Bears? Wow.
No, I think he should be a freaking a coordinator. He's better. That's what he's better at. That's what he should be doing. It's just how I think about it. I think he's a better coordinator than he's a head coach.
I think it's just with the Bears and Vikings, the uncertainty of 2015. The Vikings know they will probably not get Adrian Peterson back because he has to wait till April 15th to be reinstated into the NFL. That's a big decision there, Jeff, that the Vikings face. Could they be able to get him back and figure out what could they do to fix their team and be competitive in that NFC North division for 2015 of next year?
I doubt it.
Another game that was very meaningless, the Philadelphia Eagles went into MetLife Stadium and defeated the New York Giants. Big news for Giant fans. Tom Coughlin will not be fired as coach of the Giants. He will be retained and kept for another year for 2015, since he has 1 year left, like Jeff said, on his current contract.
That's crazy. That's just nuts, man.
You're the big Giant fan, Jeff. You excited about Coughlin coming back, or do you think a change should happen now?
I think they're going to keep. The reason why I leave it in there is because it's also the final year of Eli Manning's contract.
Yeah, then regardless of what happens next year, the Giants would face the uncertainty, wondering what would happen with Tom Coughlin, what would happen with Eli Manning. That's a big question.
It is a big question.
And for the Eagles, a chance for them to get into the playoffs just didn't happen. They got bounced out and knocked out of the playoffs to finish up at 10-6 and didn't make it, making Double-A very unhappy people since they lost to the Cowboys and the Redskins, which really jeopardized their chances of getting into the playoffs.
It's going to be fun.
Mark Sanchez, 23 of 36, 292 yards, 2 touchdown passes per reception. Eli Manning had 28 of 53, 429 yards, 1 touchdown pass, 1 interception.
What are you going to do?
Not sure. Not sure at all. So it was just a big win and a big plus for the Eagles to end their season. Of course, I know Eagle fans disappointed not being able to get into the playoffs. The other big story in headlines comes from Denver. Here was a game that we talked a little bit about, you, Josh, and I, Jeff. The Broncos have secured the number 2 seed as they absolutely destroyed the Oakland Raiders, 47-14.
Really?
So the Broncos are the number 2 seed. The Bengals, I had to figure out. I think they're on the road. I know they lost. They lost against Pittsburgh.
Right.
27-17. So the Broncos knew they didn't want to be hosting a wild card. Peyton Manning wants to be rested, but you'll be wondering what kind of a job the Omaha man has.
The Omaha man.
They next play on Sunday, so Denver will not play until January 11th.
So when?
January 11th is when Denver plays next in the Mile High City.
I don't play till January 11th?
Yeah.
And when did they play last? On Sunday, which was the 28th, right?
Yeah, and they destroyed the Oakland Raiders, and the question is, how good will the Broncos be heading into the playoffs?
They get 2 full weeks off. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Denver, well, the Broncos, like we've all pointed out, they didn't look very well to end the season. Of course, they needed to beat Oakland, and they did just that so they could secure the number 2 seed.
Oh, wow.
Joshua goes, "Keep me, Omaha," said Hut Boy is really...
I can't stand that. I hate that with a passion.
Nationwide is on your side?
I hate that, man. I can't stand that. It drives me nuts. Drives me bonkers.
On that note, we got to go to our first commercial break and update.
Our first commercial break and update. This is our first update and commercial break. Our first update is brought to you by the Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Are you tired of touching your toilet seat to have to lift it up or lower it? Well, have no fear. The Flipper is here. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and never, ever touch your toilet seat to flip it up or flip it down. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Welcome to the first of 2 updates for Sports World Radio on this 30th of December, 2014, Tuesday, 45 minutes after the hour. Here's what we got for the NBA games tonight. Pistons at Magic, Cavaliers at Hawks, Nets at Bulls, Spurs at Grizzlies, Suns at Pelicans, Wizards at Mavericks, Lakers at Nuggets, Timberwolves at Jazz, Trailblazers hosting the Raptors, and the Suns taking on the Warriors. In the NHL, with the season winding down for the first half, here are the games. 4 games for tonight. It will be the Canadiens taking on the Panthers, Blues at the Predators, Kings at the Oilers, Canucks at Sharks. Major League Baseball, no news as of yet to report for the situation with Max Scherzer and with James Shields. They are still looking at a number of teams looking for the big money situation as baseball offseason 2014 coming to an end. And remember, we're not too far away, and soon it'll be spring training coming up in February. And, of course, the NFL, the big news, of course, the NFL playoffs are all set, all taken care of. The big news, Rex Ryan fired his Jets coach. Bears have fired their coach, Tressman. Jim Harbaugh has decided to leave the 49ers. They part ways with him. And after the news was reported, he went to Michigan to become the Michigan Wolverines head coach. So back to the college ranks for Jim Harbaugh. And for the Giants, Tom Coughlin will be retained as Giants head coach. That's your update for Sports World Radio. Remember, this update was brought to you by the Flipper at flipperflipper.com. We will run to commercial break. We'll be right back with Jeff Escal, Frank Sprankle, and Sean Mann.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, and now, the big wind himself, Frank Sprankle. What's going on, buddy?
You know, it's kind of somber because this is the last time we'll be blowing the big gale for 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of somber. But you know what? 2015 is going to be a lot better, I guarantee you.
That's right. And Frank is going to make his first appearance in 2015 on Friday's show. Frank's coming back. Normally he's here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we're not doing the show this Thursday, so he's coming back on Friday to sing with us for the whole 2 hours.
Alrighty, it's Freaky Frankie Friday.
Freaky Frankie Friday.
Dude, Freaky Frankie Friday. Freaky
like
Frankie Friday. Freaky Frankie Friday.
I'll check you out.
The next story the next story go with Jim Harbaugh, Frank. Jim Harbaugh, of course, was let go by the 49ers. Now he will go back to the college level and take over the Michigan program. What's your thoughts about that?
I got to tell you, Sean, this is the perfect place for Jim Harbaugh to go after what he has been through with the 49ers this year. Not only does he need to leave San Francisco, and for that matter, too, the Bay Area. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation about Oakland. This is a guy that needs to leave the NFL. He needs to return to the college ranks. He's got a golden opportunity to coach his alma mater. This guy will be treated like royalty in Ann Arbor. And I've been to Ann Arbor. I've been to the University of Michigan Stadium. I've been on the football field. I've been on the Big M. I'll tell you what, it's one of the best places to see a college football game. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, you know, and you got to give Harbaugh a lot of credit. It's the perfect fit for him. It's the right move.
He's gonna be royalty, dude. He's gonna be treated like royalty there. He goes. If he were to take the Oakland Raiders job, they would welcome him in Oakland. But trust me, let me ask you this, Sean. Let me ask you this: where would you rather coach? Would you rather coach in front of 60, 70,000 of probably some of the most diehard NFL fans, but an organization that has no structure, that has been a losing organization the last few years? Or would you rather go to Michigan and coach on Saturdays in front of 100,000 plus people?
It's a big question. You know, you wonder what I think for him, he likes being at the college level. He did a good job with the 49ers, too. He took them to the Super Bowl one year. And speaking of which, I'll get back to some more coaching news in just a sec. I got some Skippy Bayless. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
The Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. Skippy Bayless said that Tom Brady, again, takes less money as gets older, so the Pats improve supporting cast. What Tim Duncan, Dirk did. What Kobe should have done.
I like what Tom Brady has done. Tom Brady has a lot of money. His wife, we know, has a ton of money. And Tom Brady, look, here's a guy that wants to win another Super Bowl or two. The window of opportunity is starting to run out on Tom Brady. So at this stage of his career, he's taken on, don't you agree, Sean, that this is taking on the ultimate leadership when you're willing to sacrifice some of your cash to make your club better? I admire Tom Brady for what he's doing here.
Absolutely. And Skippy Bayless came up with more. He said that my Dallas Cowboys made me so proud on Sunday.
Oh, fuck him.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Screw him right in his ass, Skippy Bayless. Sorry for the cursing.
Skippy would say this. He'd say, hey, Mr. Eskow, Cowboys 4-0 in the month of December. What do you say about that?
You know what? I want to talk about the statement you said about Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes.
I saw that, and I shared it on Jeff's Facebook Messenger. Wow.
What about that statement? And you want to know something? I was up at 7 o'clock this morning to watch that stupid show that him and Stephen A. Smith on.
Yeah, First Take.
And they weren't even on today. Okay,
I wonder if Skippy will get suspended for his comments. He never gets suspended on ESPN.
Well, you want to know something? Bill Simmons got suspended for calling somebody a liar on air. If Skip Bayless doesn't get suspended for what he did, then he's in bed with ESPN.
Dude, that's just, okay, what Bill Simmons said was just an innocent comment. ESPN took away his First Amendment privilege.
Correct.
You know what? I'll tell you this. At ESPN, they don't admire the First Amendment.
No, they don't.
They spit on the First Amendment.
Yes, they do.
You know, it's amazing, too. I was on the Facebook, and apparently everybody was commenting about Skippy's comment, and people were saying, Skippy, you are such a nerd or a jerk. You have no idea what you're talking about on your show. Get off the air.
And nothing that he's been suspended, anything else about what he said last night.
Meanwhile, Stephen A. Smith gets suspended for a week back in August.
Right.
Hey, dude, Jeff, let me ask you this. I don't know if you keep New Year's resolutions. You probably don't. But let me ask you this. Is one of your New Year's resolutions for 2015, if you're going to make any, to challenge Skip Bayless in 2015?
Not only to challenge him, but to take him down.
Skippy Bayless said that the NFC East should be ashamed of themselves.
What, the NFC East? Wait, they say the NFC East should be ashamed of themselves. Why would it matter to Skip Bayless's division?
He's probably saying he probably wants to see more competition with the Giants and the Redskins.
Hey, schmuck. Hey, Skip. The NFC East was not the worst division in the NFL. You schmuck. What the hell were you watching?
Skippy Bayless said that Jason Garrett pulled a Nick Saban this year.
Guys, what are the odds that Skip Bayless is probably going to say that the best game, that outside of his Cowboys playing the Lions, the best wild card game of wild card weekend will be Arizona and Carolina?
He probably did say it.
Skippy Bayless said that my Dallas Cowboys are better than the 2000 Baltimore Ravens and Frank and the 1985 Chicago Bears.
Oh, listen, can I give Skip Bayless a couple of numbers? 46 to 10. 46 to 10.
I don't even want to get Jeff started on that Super Bowl from 2000. He knows.
46 to 10, Skippy.
Which Super Bowl was that? The 2001 Super Bowl where they
No.
played ball?
The 46 to 10 was the final score. Super Bowl 20.
Yeah, Frank, but I was telling Jeff about Baltimore and the Giants. I remember that one very well, and I know Jeff does too.
Speaking of that, Baltimore versus the Giants Super Bowl, right? You're talking about that, right?
Yep, from January of 01.
January 28th of 2001 in Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium. You know how come I know that? Because I'm wearing the freaking sweatshirt right now.
Hey, do you know what's amazing about that Super Bowl? There were back-to-back punt returns for touchdowns.
I have the Baltimore Ravens, New York Giants Super Bowl 35 sweatshirt on right now. It's my sleeping attire. It's what I sleep in every night.
Yeah, do you remember Trent Green? Remember Trent Green broke his hand and then he was released afterwards?
Skippy Bayless said that LeBron James is better than Jerry West.
How can you make a statement like that?
Jeff, listen, you're the basketball guy. I'm deferring to you.
How do you make a statement like that when it's two different eras of basketball? Okay.
He probably says, I was probably fooling around with my toys. I didn't know anything about Jerry West, but I know LeBron is better than Jerry West.
Listen to me. The time that Jerry West played ball, The game was different back then. You were allowed to do so many things. Now,
Hey, Skip, can I ask Skip a question if he's listening? I'm sure he's listening. I want to ask him a question. Is David Blatt the coach of the year in the NBA?
David Blatt's good. David Blatt's in big trouble.
I know, dude. I think that the entire locker room of the Cleveland Cavaliers has quit on him.
They have. You know what? I want to get into some of that talk when we get back from this commercial break.
I got some more on Skippy,
dude,
too.
Let's make the second hour a complete bash.
I've been paying attention to that, and now everybody is starting to. All the ESPN bigwigs are now starting to say what I said at the beginning of the season, before the season even started. Now they're jumping on my bandwagon. Only took them 3 months to do it. Welcome aboard, you dumbasses.
You know what? Sports World Radio is smarter than ESPN.
Damn right they are. And on that note, we're going to run to a commercial break. You listen to Jeff Escott Showman and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
We're smarter than ESPN.
Fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escott, Sean Mann, Frank Sprankle, bringing you the 2 fastest hour of sports talk right here on SportsWorldRadio.com each and every Monday through Friday. 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West, and if you live in the Central,
5 p.m.
yourself.
Dude, I beat you. Dude, you got knocked out. Dude, TKO. TKO. TKO.
Skippy Bayless came back and said that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has nothing on LeBron James.
Yeah, screw Skippy Bayless right in his nutsack.
Skippy Bayless said that the Boston Celtics are a joke. No, really, you figured that? I obviously know. As a Celtics fan, they're bad, you dumb idiot. Skippy Bayless said that he should do, how about this, Jeff and Frank? Skippy came out today and said, I should do the coin flip at the Super Bowl.
Wait. Who said that he should be doing the coin flip at the Super Bowl?
He did.
Skip Bayless should be doing the coin flip at the Super Bowl. Okay, fine. Listen. If you do the coin flip at Super Bowl 49, then I should do it for Super Bowl 50 in Santa Clara next year.
You know what I want to see? I want to see him do the Super Bowl toss, and as he flips it up in the air, he gets shot right in the head.
Whoa, dude.
And then
taken out. He gets assassinated right there in the middle of the field.
And then Skippy would probably be like, "Where are you, Escal? I'm here in Arizona. See if you can drive your butt on over to Arizona. I'll debate you."
You know what, Skippy? Bring your ass to San Diego, and I'll put you right here in the studio, and we'll do it together.
Dude, I got a good idea. Look. I know Katy. Listen, I say screw the Katy Perry halftime show at the Super Bowl. The halftime show at the Super Bowl should be at midfield. Jeff Escal versus Skip Bayless.
That's right, and watch me put Skip down.
Skippy Bayless has booked his trip to Arizona for the Super Bowl.
Oh, he's probably anticipating. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I can't wait. Tony Romo is just going to shine. He's going to throw 8 touchdown passes. He's going to throw the most touchdown passes in yards in Super Bowl history. He's going to be Skip Bayless is probably saying, just wait till Glendale. You're going to see Tony Romo as having the greatest performance in Super Bowl history.
And Frank, you took the words right out of the mouth, because here's what Skippy also said, Jeff and Frank. Skippy will be with Jerry Jones during the playoff run.
Wait, let me ask you. What will he be doing? Will he be having a beer with him?
No, he'll be watching in the box seat. There you go, Jeff.
I ain't watching nothing.
With Skippy Bayless.
Okay, let me ask you, what happens when the Seattle Seahawks go to the Super Bowl? Will Jerry Jones be on hand? Will Jerry Jones want to be on hand?
I hope not.
No, Jerry will be in too much mourning after this weekend. Skippy Bayless said that Floyd Mayweather is losing credibility with stalling his fight with Pacquiao.
I'm waiting for that fight to happen.
That fight should have happened 10 years ago.
Let me tell you, when that fight happens, and I have a feeling one day it will, hopefully it does, I will be in Vegas for that fight.
That fight ain't going to happen.
Well, if it does, I'm heading to Vegas.
It's not going to happen in Vegas, I'll tell you that.
Skippy Bayless said he still thinks that Johnny Manziel will be the man in the NFL, but called him an alcoholic and an idiot.
Yeah, I know he did, and he should be suspended for that.
I saw that, and I thought, why hasn't he gotten a suspension? I said, that's so on public air, and people have been so sick of all of it. Oh, you should have seen all the comments on Facebook, Frank and Jeff. I saw it, and I was laughing away, saying, look how much people have so much of a despise of Skippy Bayless.
Hey, let me ask you this, do you think Skip Bayless has actually been drinking with Johnny Manziel? I don't think so. Probably not.
Probably that's why he was late for tardiness on Sunday, because Skippy went to the party.
I drink alone. Yeah, with nobody else.
That's how you're going to spend the rest of your life, alone with nobody else.
You know, when I drink alone, I prefer to be by myself.
Get this. Skippy Bayless came out and said that Jason Garrett is a better head coach than Greg Popovich.
Wait, who's a better head coach than Greg Popovich?
Jason Garrett.
Okay, let's see. I've lost count on the number of titles Greg Popovich has won. He's won so many of them.
I know, and
5.
I know, and I can't count how many freaking Jason Garrett's won.
0.
Exactly. So shut up, Skippy.
Wait, did he win a Super Bowl as a backup when he was playing with the Cowboys?
Yeah, he has never won one as a coach.
Okay,
but bingo.
And he won one as a backup.
Yeah, he's won one as a player.
Yeah.
And here's Skippy coming out saying, yeah, man, Jason Garrett is the best coach in the NFL, better than Weed Eubank and Don Shula and Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh, the list goes on.
You're an idiot, Skip Bayless. You're a true blue idiot.
Jeff says, I've got the stats to prove it.
Hey,
Garrett's only won one playoff game as a coach.
Let me ask you this. Why doesn't Skip Bayless relocate to the Metroplex? Why does he make it his permanent residence?
I don't know.
He should. Don't you think Skip Bayless should be living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Yes.
Probably, because he grew up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Skippy Bayless said that the Bears made the right choice by firing Mark Trestman and Phil Emery, and doesn't change the fact that the Chicago sports teams suck.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you this: the Bulls, they've been winning as of late. The Blackhawks, we have 2 Stanley Cups. We've been winning as of late. The baseball teams, look, they got a lot to prove. The Chicago sports scene is pretty interesting. Yes, the Bears suck, and it was a right choice. I will agree with Skippy on that one. But the next test remains: who will the Bears hire as the HC and GM?
Skippy Bayless said that Jim Harbaugh made a mistake going to Michigan University.
Wait a minute, didn't I just praise that decision?
Yes, and that's what he said. Skippy said, Frank, I'll disagree with you. Jim Harbaugh made a mistake going to Michigan.
Let me ask you this. Does he think that maybe he should be an assistant on Jason Garrett's staff next year?
Probably.
That's probably what he thinks.
He does. He probably expects it. What do you think there, Jeff? How about that? Skippy Bayless goes and becomes an assistant for the Dallas Cowboys with Jason Garrett.
And then they'll lose all their freaking games.
They probably will.
Skippy, how about this? Skippy Bayless said that Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice will play next year.
Wait, both of them?
Yeah, he says that they'll both play next year.
They probably will, though. Probably right about that.
Well, at least one of them will. I think Ray Rice potentially will.
Get ready for this one. Skippy Bayless said that Tony Romo, the NFL's best quarterback rating overall, best quarterback rating in second halves, best road quarterback rating by far, made so many clutch plays in moments. Romo, MVP, baby.
Not gonna. Okay, first of all, he's not going to be the MVP, and second of all, it only took him 5 years to do it.
It's going to come, listen, the MVP, it's going to come down to Aaron Rodgers and J.J. Watt.
That's right.
And Skippy would debate you and say, how is that possible? Look what the guy's done. The guy's on fire, and he was on fire on Sunday, and he's perfect December record.
And
the point is that the Cowboys are clicking at the right time. That's what he would probably say to you.
Has he seen Aaron Rodgers play this year? Has he seen what J.J. Watt has done on both sides of the ball? J.J. Watt has been the most intriguing player to watch this year.
No, because he's biased towards Dallas, so no, he hasn't.
Well, he probably hates Houston. He probably hates Houston.
He probably would say this. He goes, hey, did you see that they came back and beat Seattle? Hey, they beat Philadelphia. Hey, they beat the Giants. They beat a lot of good teams this year, and that's why the Cowboys are 12-4. So ha ha ha.
Let's see what they do in the playoffs before you start opening up your mouth, you jackass. Huh? Just because they had a good season doesn't make them a playoff team.
Okay, eventually,
exactly.
Look, they're going to have to run into Green Bay.
Uh-huh.
Dude, does he really think that the Cowboys can beat the Packers in Lambeau Field?
He probably does. He's probably going to say, my Cowboys will beat my Packers.
Listen, they're going to have to go through Green Bay, Detroit first, Green Bay, and then Seattle. Come on. Really? Get the hell out of here.
And we don't even see it happening that Dallas would get past Seattle again. Highly unlikely.
They wouldn't be able to get past Green Bay.
Yeah, and Skippy's saying that the Cowboys will be the team probably representing the NFC and going to the Super Bowl in Arizona.
Okay, Skippy, let me ask you this. If it comes down to, and I think there's great potential for it to come down to Dallas and Green Bay in the divisional playoff, after that game, will you be saying Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback in the league or Tony Romo's the greatest quarterback in the league?
He'll say Tony Romo. You know he's biased toward the Cowboys.
Dude, Romo will Rodgers will torch that defense.
Yes, he will.
Skippy said that if Levon is out, the Ravens become biggest threat to New England. They have a recent history of playing extremely well in Foxborough. Thank you, Skippy. I need to hear that.
You think?
I know. Skippy said that is not fair. That is not Jay Cutler's fault that Chicago is a cursed city. Skippy said that Mark Trestman should be the coach for the New York Football Jets.
After what we have seen in Chicago, I don't think Mark Trestman is going to be an NFL head coach for many, many, many years.
I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to college.
Well, no, he was in the CFL.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to college.
Oh, Canada, your home and native land.
I don't think so. I think he might even screw that and stay in the NFL.
You know what? He could be a quarterback's coach. I could see Trestman as being a quarterback's coach somewhere.
He's supposed to be a good quarterback coach, right?
He's been a quarterback's coach. Dude, the guy worked with Jake with Jake Plummer. I'm trying to think who else. He worked with Bernie Kosar, too, when he was with Cleveland.
Well, obviously he did good with them, but he couldn't do anything for Cutler.
Dude, I don't think anybody could do anything with Cutler. Dude, I say send the guy to Tennessee.
Skippy Bayless said that if Bill Cowher went back to the NFL, he won't have the same success because you can't expect the past to come through fruition in the present or the future.
How the hell is he? What, he got a crystal ball?
That depends what team you're coaching.
What, he got a crystal ball? How does he know? And that's exactly what I'd say to him if he was right here in front of me. How do you know? Did you see? Can you see into the future?
Okay, dude, if he can see into the future, let me ask you this. When will the Chicago Cubs win that World Series at last?
Yeah, that he'll probably remain quiet with you asking him about the Cubs in the World Series. Skippy would probably say, because I know. He probably says, I predict things in the future, and I know the future very well. That all you other schmucks.
Okay, listen. If he knows the future very well, what is the? Let's shut up for a moment. What is the date of my death?
Exactly.
Dude, seriously, when am I going to leave this world?
Okay, if you know the future so well, Skip Bayless, when are you going to die? Because I can't stand you.
Here's another thing. Skippy said that the NFL needs to be realistic and not rely on the past with these free agent coaches.
He's such an idiot.
Dude, I don't get that comment.
You know what, Skip? As a sports commentator, you don't need to rely on the past either. Stop living in the past and live in the present, you jackass.
And stop living in the eras of the NBA.
Dude, I'm going to ask Skip when the end of the world is. Seriously, when's the rapture? That's what I would like to ask Skip Bayless. When's the rapture? I got to prepare myself. What's going to come first, my death or the rapture?
Skippy, if you could tell us the future and you're so smart, when is ESPN going to fire you? Huh?
He probably would say, nobody can fire me because I know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. You got no freaking clue what you're talking about. And I can almost guarantee you, if you get suspended from ESPN for saying what you said, they're going to make you come back and apologize. And that's going to hurt you even more. And that's going to bother you even more.
And on that note, we got to go to a commercial break.
You're listening to Jeff Outscow Show, man. Frank Spreaker on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear, and do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov. This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Esco, Showman, and Frank Sprankle bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, Sean, where we going next, buddy?
The next story that we're going to get to, Frank, now we go to NFL news. We talk about Jim Harbaugh leaving and going to Michigan.
How
of course,
sad.
the big news coming out of New York a few days ago, the Jets fired head coach Rex Ryan and their general manager Woody Johnson, announcing and saying, the Jets owner, a change was needed. Things were not going well. I didn't like what was going on inside the locker room with the Jets, so he felt like a change was needed. Now the Jets are out searching for a coach.
This is a problem with the Jets. They have had losing seasons the last few years. They have been through a couple of general managers now. The fact that Rex Ryan was fired, don't you guys get the sense that Rex Ryan knew a month ago that he was going to be fired? He was probably already told, look, you're going to finish out the season, but at the end of the season, you're going to be relieved of your duties. Thank you for what you've meant for this organization, but it's time to move on. The Jets have been just a disappointment. Now, Jeff, I know you're a Giants fan, but it's got to be hard to live in the New York, New Jersey area, the tri-state area. It has got to be hard to be a Jets fan because I know the Giants haven't played well the last few years, but how many Super Bowls have the Giants won since the Jets won Super Bowl III? Four. And not to mention, too, they have won 2 Super Bowls of late.
Correct.
It really sucks. It's just got to suck to be a Jets fan knowing that that you're wearing the colors of Pain Green and Big Blue is rubbing all of these Super Bowl titles in your face.
Well, remember, here's what Jeff has good philosophy about with the Giants and the Jets. Giants have always been the older brother. The Jets have always been the little brother. They haven't been the big team since Joe Namath when they won the Super Bowl III.
Right.
Ever since then, it's just gone downhill for them. They've been to some AFC championship games. They had a chance to beat the Dolphins in 1982. They lost that. 98, they lost to Denver. They lost in 09. They lost in 2010. They have been there, the Jets have, but they just haven't been able to get it done. What the Jets got to do is like this. They got to clean house, and they got to find a coach that can try to bring a relaxed atmosphere. Rex Ryan did that, but when he cleared out his office on Saturday night, that told me right there that Rex was going to be gone as coach of the Jets.
Oh, he knew a long time ago that his job was pretty much a done deal in terms of finito, out of here, thanks for all the memories. The New York Jets need to go in a different direction, and maybe it's a calmer direction, maybe it's a more intense direction, I don't know. But I'll tell you something the New York Jets need to do. They need superstars. Not since the day of Joe Namath had the New York Jets had anybody that's really marketable. You mentioned Joe Namath. I mean, the Jets have had some good players since Joe Namath. But take a look at the list of Hall of Famers for the Giants and the Jets since Joe Namath. It's just mind-boggling.
It's been
I'm talking about since, not historically since.
You know, the way I look at it with the Jets, you're right. They've had great players. They've had the New York Sack Exchange back in the 1980s. And, Jeff, I know that with you living in New York, you remember that New York Sack Exchange very well and some of the Jet teams of the 1980s. But they've been the team going through rebuilding and thinking that they've always been there. And they get to I think the biggest step is not getting past the AFC Championship game. They always lose in heartbreak. They've had good teams, but they just haven't been able to get it done since Joe Namath.
Hey, I'll say this before we hear from Jeff. The New York Jets, rebuilding since 1969.
Amen to that. What do you say, Jeff?
That's true. Giants not only won more Super Bowls, they've been to more Super Bowls.
That's right.
And also, doesn't Jeff that have to do with the Mayer family,
yes,
also bringing in such great people in the front office, terrific head coaches with Parcells and Coughlin over the years?
Correct. 100%.
They've had better personnel.
Yeah, well, that's because their owner really cares.
And that's why he thinks that getting Coughlin back was a good decision for them. But, you know, with the Jets, it's just, you're right, rebuilding since 1969. Think of all the great teams they've had, and then it's just ended for them. and they've been out. And, of course, Bill Parcells was the guy who really – of course, he brought 2 Super Bowls to the Giants. Props for that because he won in 86 and 90. He came to the Jets in the late 90s, and he turned that team around and got them to the AFC Championship game, Bill Parcells did. But when I've always said that the downtime for the Jets came when Bill Parcells left. You would have never known and what you would have thought had Bill Parcells stayed, what the Jets would have been like. Had they been a good team, would they had a chance to maybe win some Super Bowls? Maybe. It would have been possible. But Parcells left, and I think that's where the decline started right there.
Curtis Martin was the biggest was the biggest project that Bill Parcells took on and made successful.
Indeed.
You can only stay at a team for so long.
Now, on other news to report for Black Monday, which was yesterday, the Chicago Bears, of course, Frank, I'm ready to hear your answer about this.
Well, I'll have plenty to say on this.
Trestman fired as coach of the Bears and their general manager. What's your status on the Bears? What's their future like for 2015?
Okay. The fact that Mark Trestman and Phil Emery were relieved as head coach and general manager, that's just test number 1. Test number 2 is who do you bring in to run the operation? First of all, take a look at who they have in terms of football operations. It's an accountant. Look, Ted Phillips was at the press conference yesterday with Chairman George McCaskey. These two had a lengthy press conference. They took questions from pretty much every member of the media that was present.
Right.
Now, the fact that you relieved your head coach and your general manager, good, but not good enough. You have got to bring in a new president of football operations. Let Ted Phillips stay on. Let him handle the finances. Let him handle the cash. Let him handle the green. He can take care of all of that. But you need a football guy to be president of football operations. I mean, take a look at the counterpart for Ted Phillips in Denver. It's John Elway, a football guy. So I want to see a new president of football operations, and obviously a new general manager and a head coach. That's going to come, general manager and coach. But a new president of football operations is needed for the Chicago Bears, and it better be a football guy.
And Jeff and Frank, your thoughts about what's the future for Jay Cutler like in 2015?
Mark Trestman was brought in to turn Jay Cutler around. Now, the question is, what do you do? Do you try to ship him off to a suitor, which will be hard considering that whoever takes him is going to have to eat up a lot of his money here? Or do you look at keeping him on? I say you potentially look at keeping him on for one more season under a fiery head coach. Here's the thing, Sean. You need a head coach with fire. Somebody was mentioning about nice yesterday, the nice versus fire approach. I'll be honest. Nice may work for some teams. For some teams, nice may win you the Super Bowl. It depends on the players. For the Chicago Bears, they don't need nice, hey, how you doing, pat you on the back and all of that. They need somebody that's going to throw chairs and break things. That is what the Chicago Bears need right now. They need somebody to mentally whip their ass.
Absolutely. And Jeff, your thoughts on the future of Jay Cutler for the Bears going into 2015?
Well, first of all, any coach that they bring in, I don't think they're going to want Jay Cutler as their coach.
Quarterback.
As their quarterback. Thank you.
But hold on, but those people, Jeff, are going to make the decision. The general manager and the head coach, they're going to work together and make the decision. Look, do we keep Jay Cutler and see what he can do, or do we look at shipping him off elsewhere? What do we do here?
That's the million-dollar question.
And you know what? I will admire George McCaskey for that. At least he's given absolute power as far as what's the future of Jay Cutler to the general manager and head coach. I will admire George McCaskey for that.
Okay, let me ask you this. They get rid of Cutler. Who's going to be their quarterback?
I know. Here's the thing. The Bears do have the number 7 draft pick. That's going to be a tough one because there's really not a lot of big-name quarterbacks out in the free agent market. I will say this. Any quarterback the Bears have on their depth chart now, whether it be Jimmy Clausen, even David Fales, I guess, But Jimmy Clausen, I'll say this, in the game against the Lions, the Bears didn't win that game. The Lions came back and won. But at least the Bears had fight under Jimmy Clausen. They seem more emotionally, mentally charged and physically charged. And Jimmy Clausen, I'll say this, the guy played his heart out despite the fact that the Bears lost the game. He suffered a concussion. So you know what? I'll take Jimmy Clausen over Jay Cutler potentially heading into 2015.
Really?
That's a good.
Really?
Well, it can't be any worse than Jay Cutler, dude. Have you ever seen the guy's press conferences? The guy just doesn't care. He is not taking on the leadership. He is not taking. Whenever I see Peyton Manning on the sideline, even after a scoring drive, you know what's the first thing Peyton Manning is doing? He is looking at the printed up paper of the drive, the photos of the drive. I don't see Jay Cutler doing that.
True, and that's a very good decision that the Bears have to make, figuring out what their quarterback position is, what their future will be like. The next story I get to before we get to the second update, Frank, real quickly, Jeff gave his thoughts about this. Tom Coughlin being retained as Giants head coach. What's your thoughts?
I believe Tom Coughlin, first of all, has one more year left on his contract. Does anybody want to correct me? I think I read that the contract for 2015.
He has Frank, he has one more year left. And Jeff had a good point that he said in the first hour. Well, here's the way it'll be for the Giants. Coughlin comes back next year. Eli has one more year left on his contract. So the Giants know maybe next year is the year they try to get it done and win the Super Bowl, because then there's a lot of what ifs. You know, what will the team be like after 2015 and going into 2016?
Let me ask you this. Do you highly think it's possible Tom Coughlin will retire after next season? Because he's 68 years old. He'll be 69. 2 years from now, he's going to be 70 years old. He's accomplished a lot. Look, Tom Coughlin can retire now, and he'll go to the Hall of Fame. I can guarantee you that.
Real quickly, to answer your question before we go to that second update, I do see it happening where Tom Coughlin will retire as coach of the Giants, and then the Giants have a decision they have to make with their team. Where will they go from here?
I think Tom Coughlin, with what he's accomplished, he should leave on his own terms.
Jeff, real quickly, your thoughts about Coughlin. Do you believe he'll retire after next year?
Well, it depends on how they play next year, and it depends on what Eli's going to do, too.
That's a good point.
You know, if Eli has a good season...
I'm just thinking about his grandchildren here. He wants to spend time with the grandkids.
Well, if Eli has a good season and they play well and they make the playoffs and they go far, he might stay around.
If he enjoys doing it, then that's fine. Think of Dick LeBeau,
exactly.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. He's in his 70s, and he's still the coordinator of the defense.
But he's a coordinator. He's not the head coach. He's a coordinator. It's different responsibilities.
I know.
To our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by the Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Never, ever touch the toilet seat ever again to lift it or lower it. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Take it away, Sean Wayne, with the final update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 31 minutes after the hour, let's talk some NHL for tonight's games. The Canadiens at the Panthers, Blues at the Predators, Kings at the Oilers, and Canucks taking on the Sharks. In Major League Baseball, of course, the big news with Max Scherzer and with James Shields. No news yet. However, there could be a lot of movement and action with these two big pitchers that are looking for a new team to go to. Or could they possibly re-sign with their teams? Shields going back to the Royals and Scherzer going back to the Tigers. We shall see what happens in the next couple weeks. In the NBA, of course, here's the action that we got on this Tuesday night. Magic and the Pistons. It's 21-20. The Magic leading with 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Here's other games. Cavaliers taking on the Hawks. Nets heading up to Chicago to take on the Bulls. Spurs at the Grizzlies. Suns at the Pelicans. Wizards at the Mavericks. Lakers at the Nuggets. Timberwolves at the Jazz. Raptors at Trailblazers. Lastly, the 76ers taking on the Warriors. In the NFL, of course, the big news yesterday was Black Monday. Rex Ryan gone as coach of the Jets. The Jets fired their general manager. The Bears fired Tressman and their general manager. Jim Harbaugh has said goodbye to San Francisco. so. He will be the new coach at the University of Michigan. And Tom Coughlin will be retained and kept as coach of the New York Football Giants next year because he has one more year left on his contract along with Eli Manning. The NFL playoffs start on Saturday and Sunday. It is the NFC wildcard games and the AFC wildcard games. The winner of these has a chance to go up against the top teams in the AFC who are just sitting around and waiting for the next team to show up. This update was brought to you by the Flipper at flipper.com. We're going to run to commercial break. When we come back, more sports talk.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday. And joining us now, like he always does on Tuesday, the big win, Frank Sprankle.
Breaking news from the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars have fired their offensive coordinator, Jed Fish, because of what Gus Bradley said were philosophical differences related to how much the team asked of rookie quarterback Blake Bortles. So the Jaguars say adios to their offensive coordinator.
Well, you know what? Here's a guy that they're hoping to be a franchise quarterback. He was actually the first quarterback taken in the draft. And Jacksonville, they're investing a lot in him. Always the franchise quarterback, or at least the guy that they hope will be the franchise. Look, I'm not going to say Blake Bortles is a franchise quarterback. He hasn't proved that yet. But that typically, it's a projected franchise quarterback that's going to have all the power here.
The Jaguars have been this team, though, that, Jeff, you go up against and have just been the team that's been rebuilding and rebuilding. They weren't big since the late 90s when Tom Coughlin was there, and they had, Fred Taylor, and they had, I think it was Natron Means, and they had Rick Brunell. They had some pretty good teams in the late 90s, the Jaguars did, but they had all that rebuilding, and especially they had Jack Del Rio, who wasn't really one of the best coaches in the NFL, especially in Jacksonville.
Yeah, listen, Jacksonville stinks. They should just start over anyway.
And think about real quick,
London, England.
Yeah, the London Jaguars. Oh yeah, that would be a real sweet thing to call that team. Move them halfway across the world and now become the London Jaguars and play at Wembley Stadium. But here's another thing that the Jaguars dealt with too that it has distracted them. Could it be Maurice Jones-Drew? Remember, Maurice Jones-Drew was another big part of the distraction. Remember, Jeff, he got fined $30,000 every day for missing a team practice because the Jaguars would not release him. And that went up to millions of dollars. That went up to like millions. And then finally they worked out the differences. Maurice Jones-Drew went and played for the Jaguars. And then things just have been downhill for Jacksonville.
Yeah, but Maurice Jones-Drew, dude, the guy hasn't really been productive, has he? I mean, I don't see Maurice Jones-Drew in the top of rushing yards or even receiving yards as a running back.
True, and Ebo goes, the whole Jaguar team should be fired. Just what Jeff said. Good point there, Ebo. And Josh says, sorry, Frank, but you sound just like every single person here in the city. Just like those clowns, Carmen and Jurko. You are unrealistic, okay?
Carmen and Jurko. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we the fans wanted Emery and Trestman gone. Okay, they're gone. What's the solution? You want Cutler? What's the solution? Here's something. What happened to patience? Cutler's been here for 5 to 6 years, Jeff and Frank, and he's had 2 head coaches, 2 general managers, and 3 or 4 offensive coordinators. Is going to come to a point where we need those guys to stay for a while, because who wants to come here when you are given a year max opportunity to bring the Bears back to glory?
Okay, I'm going to put it to you this way, Josh, so you understand it, okay? How long has Eli Manning been in the league?
I can tell you how long, since 04. Eli Manning's been in the league 11 seasons.
11 seasons, right?
Yes.
How long has Wilson been in the league, Russell Wilson?
3rd season.
How long has Cutler been in the season?
Oh, I could tell you, combined Broncos and Bears, he has been in the league now for 9 seasons.
And how long has he been the starting quarterback for Chicago Bears?
Since 09.
So he's been in the league almost the same time as Eli Manning, correct?
Correct.
And how many Super Bowls does Eli Manning have?
2.
I end my discussion right there.
And here's the thing, too. Cutler has not worked with somebody who has just been too demanding, who has had a fire in his eyes and in his mouth.
Josh is probably thinking, when are we ever going to get back to the Jim McMahon days of the 1980s?
You know what?
I'll be honest, I wish we could get back to the NFL, to the style of play of the 1980s. It was better back then than what it is now.
The Chicago Bears need a coach like John Gruden.
Dude, you know what I suggested? Here's my suggestion as far as head coach and general manager. You hit it right on the head. I was talking with a buddy of mine earlier today. John Gruden is the head coach. Bill Cowher is your general manager.
That's true.
Why you do? You want a fiery, intense organization, and obviously it's not going to happen with Gruden because he already re-signed with ESPN, unfortunately. But that would be awesome. Have Gruden as your general manager. Not Gruden's your general manager. Take 2. Cowher's your general manager. Gruden is your head coach.
John Gruden to become the coach of the Bears?
He's worked with quarterbacks, too.
I don't see that happening, Frank, because, look, John Gruden...
That ain't going to happen, period. He just signed with ESPN.
Yeah, John Gruden likes what he does in the broadcast booth. He enjoys Monday Night Football with Mike Tirico.
And also, he's won a Super Bowl. I've already said this. If you've won a Super Bowl, if you've won at least one Super Bowl as a head coach or even a player, doesn't it feel like you have climbed the mountaintop and you have nothing more to achieve?
True. And, well, here's a good point to ask you, Jeff. Suppose you were a Chicago Bears fan, Jeff, and suppose you wanted John Gruden as coach. Would you welcome that, Gruden going to the Bears?
Again, Sean?
Well, Jeff, if you were a Bears fan, and suppose you wanted John Gruden as the coach of the Bears, would you be okay with that, or would you want Bill Cowher as coach of the Bears?
I want somebody like Cowher, Gruden, somebody who's going to put fire under that team.
You know what? Here's what I would welcome, and I want to hear Josh's opinion. And Josh, if you have names, please mention them. But what about this guy? Does have previous head coaching experience, and it's also important here if I can make this point. The Chicago Bears, ever since George Halas retired in the late 1960s from coaching, have had head coach after head coach that have not had head coaching experience. Not even Mike Ditka. He was an assistant under Tom Landry for about a decade in Dallas. The Bears have not hired a head coach with previous head coaching experience. I got a name. He does have head coaching experience. It didn't work out well for this team. He is a former Bear. He isn't intense. He was intense, I thought, as a head coach. But what about Mike Singletary?
Is Mike Singletary going to the Bears?
You saw what he did with Vernon Davis that one year, right?
Yep.
Dude, that's what the Bears really need.
True.
But he sent Vernon Davis to the showers.
Josh goes, yeah, let's get a guy that hasn't coached in 8 or 10 years, and all our problems are solved. Shaking my head. That's what Josh is saying.
Okay, listen, Josh. Josh, I've given you a name. If you can give me a name or 2 or 5 or 10, I don't care how many names. If you have at least one name, that'd be great. But if
how
you
about
have
Mike Holmgren?
I think Mike Holmgren would work well, probably in the front office.
Well, Jeff, how about Mike Holmgren? He could come back into coaching.
Yeah,
Josh,
that would not be a bad deal right there. I like
Josh.
Mike Holmgren.
Do you have a name?
Mike Holmgren to the Windy City, boy, that would cause a lot of him going there, the Bears and Packers.
Yeah, it would be kind of weird because he coached the Packers in the '90s when they went to 2 Super Bowls and won 1.
Yep. And Ebo says John Gruden is an idiot, though. How is he an idiot, Ebo? He fires up teams. I saw how he could fire up the Raiders and the Buccaneers.
Dude, if he's an idiot, then I'll tell you what. There has been listen, I want to say this. If he's an idiot, then there has been at least one head coach in the history of professional football that has been an idiot and has won a Super Bowl.
It's crazy. It's nuts. Yeah, so Josh, make a list. You come up with a list on who you think should be a head coach and see who can come in and turn the Chicago Bears around and have the big winning tradition since the Jim McMahon days.
I gave you one name. I gave you guys one name. Josh, you can come up with one name if you want. You can make a list or you can just come up with that one name.
And on that note, we're going to run to our final break. You're listening to Jeff Escott, Showman, and Frank Sprinkle on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us. And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to the final segment here of Sports World Radio with Jeff Escott, Showman, and Frank Sprinkle. What do you got for me, Shawnee?
Well, kind of going back to what Josh says. How about Rex Ryan? He says Rex Ryan, Todd Boyle, Sean Payton, Jeff. How about somebody that's coached in this era?
You know, I do like one name on that list. I do. There is one name I like on that list, but it's not going to happen. That's Sean Payton. Sean Payton was a spare bear, did play for Mike Ditka. Like Mike Singletary, never played with Singletary because, remember, the strike of 1987, Singletary and the Great Bears were on strike. Payton was a spare bear. They were on well, actually, they well in the 87 3 games they won. They were 2-1. But anyway, I would welcome Sean Payton. But you know what? As long as Drew Brees is the quarterback of that team, he's not leaving New Orleans.
And then, Jeff, what's your thoughts about what Josh said, coming up with somebody that's coached in this era?
I don't mind the Sean Payton.
I love it.
I don't mind the Sean Payton thing at all. Not one bit. In fact, that would be pretty good for Chicago.
Hey, you know what? George McCaskey, lay out the big bucks.
But am I right? Sean Payton's still with them, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't been fired, correct?
Correct.
So still has a job in New Orleans.
Right.
But I don't think he's going to go because, look, him and Drew Brees, it seems that Sean Payton and Drew Brees have one of the best head coach quarterback working relationships in all of the NFL.
What about the head coach for the, you know what, Gary Kubiak's not bad either, but he doesn't have the fire. I don't think he's as fiery as the other guys. Leslie Frazier's not as fiery.
Not fiery. He played for Dick and won a Super Bowl, but
Jack Del Rio is a defensive coordinator, not a head coach.
And then Josh goes, are we really considering people that haven't coached in 10 years and they are a media blowhard now and they'll be out of touch?
There is one name I will definitely not entertain, and that is Mike Shanahan.
I was just going to ask
Seriously.
you, what about Shanahan?
I do not want Shanahan, as long as Cutler's the quarterback of that team. As if Jay Cutler has a roster spot with the Chicago Bears, I do not want Mike Shanahan anywhere near the Bears.
Hey, I would not be shocked if Shanahan ends up in San Francisco.
I could see that being a possibility, or
I would not. That would not shock me at all.
I don't think he's coming to Chicago. Look, it's bad enough the Broncos shipped Jay Cutler when Shanahan was the head coach in Denver at the time. Don't you know that was a white flag there?
Whoever the Bears pick, though, they have to find somebody that can fire the team up, bring leadership, just fix them, and wonder what their status will be. Remember, the Bears, you talk about the Jets having distractions with inside their locker room and that players weren't getting along and being happy. The Bears were the same situation. I remember when the Bears lost, fans booed them, and the Bears were very disgusted about that. That angered the whole team inside the locker room.
Sean, let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen any game in which the score at halftime was 42-0?
No.
42-0, gentlemen.
That
is
was
typically a final score. That's a final score typically. Well, not
at
even
halftime?
typically.
At halftime, yeah, I did.
Sunday night game at Lambeau Field. That's embarrassing.
It was a Thursday night. The Buccaneers played the Falcons. Falcons beat them 56-14 this year. I watched the whole thing.
Wait, which game was that?
That was back in September. We talked about it, Frank, and you called it a kind of like a meaningless game.
Right.
That really didn't matter very much for the television ratings.
In the Georgia Dome, I watched it.
Yeah.
But that game I saw in Lambeau Field, and I have seen many bad Bears games over the years. That was the worst game in my lifetime to date I've ever seen from the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
The worst.
The worst indeed.
It made me want to vomit.
Made me want to vomit.
But
I didn't, though.
So, yeah, the Jets face uncertainty. The Raiders, they face uncertainty, too. Who knows how long they're going to be in Oakland. You know, L.A. will not have a football team next year, but in 2016, it could be very likely that San Diego could move to L.A. or Oakland could move.
Okay. Let me hear, Jeff, let me hear your opinion about San Diego, about the San Diego Chargers possibly up by 5 in 2016.
First of all, San Diego's not going anywhere. They already announced that they're staying in San Diego.
Wait, is this a lease or is this permanent? What?
No, every year for the last 14 years, San Diego Chargers have had the right to move from Qualcomm Stadium. Okay, it's in their contract now. They can move after every season, move anywhere they want. Out of the state, anywhere they want. They're allowed to. It's in their contract. For the last 14 years, they've been sticking around. They're not going anywhere. They want to stay in San Diego. If they wanted to move, now would be the time to move. They ain't moving nowhere.
All right, but what about a new stadium in San Diego?
That's what they're working on right now. They're trying to find a place to put it.
And you know what? Once they get that new stadium, I guarantee you, San Diego will get another Super Bowl.
Yeah, but see, the city of San Diego doesn't want it to be a publicly funded stadium. They want it to be private. San Diego does not want to build a stadium for the Chargers.
Okay, so in terms of hotel tax,
No,
I would assume like in terms of the hotel tax.
No, basically they want the Spanos to build the stadium themselves.
Yep.
Is what they want.
Pretty much, when we have to think about it, it pretty much has to be maybe Oakland. I think the Raiders, it's very likely they will be out of Oakland and moving back to L.A. Hey, Dr. Myth, good to see you.
They play in a dump.
The Raiders play at Network Associates Coliseum in Oakland. And you call it a dump, Frank?
It is a dump.
Dude, it is. The Oakland Coliseum, that's called now, is a dump. I mean, look at the playing surface. Look at the fact that did you know I've actually been in that stadium in 1992? I was there in 92 for a White Sox A's game right before Mount Davis was erected.
You know very well, though, that with Los Angeles, Marcus Allen is pushing the Raiders back. I believe Magic Johnson is going to have a hand in this, too, since he's one of the owners for the L.A. Dodgers, that he'll try very hard to figure out to get a team to L.A., but the question, like Jeff says...
I got to stop you right there in a nutshell, Sean. They cannot bring a team to L.A. There's no goddamn stadium.
That thing.
And I'll say this about L.A. Not everyone in that town, but there are a good number of people that are just Grey Poupon idiots. They are not true sports fans. They are bandwagon fans.
And they don't support their team. That's the thing. They don't support the team in LA. That's what I was saying and getting at, Jeff, because then it's like, where would they have the money to build a stadium? They don't have the money for it. They can't afford it. The LA Coliseum, they used to play that, or even in Pasadena, California.
Actually, they're thinking about building the stadium next to the new soccer stadium that they have. Because some guy owns all that property, so they're actually thinking about putting it there. But, okay, say they decide to put it there. Guess what, assholes? The stadium's not going to be built for another 4 years, you morons. Why are you dealing with this now?
Hey, wait a minute. I just realized something. Los Angeles does have football. Soccer.
Yes.
That's the football they have. They just don't have American tackle football.
And I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to tell you something. Go to a Clippers game. Go to a Lakers game. Go to a Dodgers game. Go to a California Angels game. Go to any professional sports game in L.A. I can guarantee you they do not sell out because there's so much more to do in L.A. and California than go to a game and spend $200.
Jeff, let me ask you this. 10 years ago, how many people were actually going to Clipper games?
Not many.
Okay, but look at the attendance at Clipper games now. Oh, my goodness, the Clippers, they've been winning. They got such great players. They're better than the Lakers. Wow, we got to go out and see the Clippers. Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to tell you something.
These people are scum.
I'm going to
scum, I tell you.
I'm going to tell you something. If L.A. gets an NFL team, the first year is going to be great because everybody's going to be so hyped about it, and it's going to be fabulous. What I want you to look at is 10 years from that because the stadium's going to be empty after that, and the team's going to want to move because the city won't support it.
And here's another thing, too. Okay, let's say people we're glamorous. L.A. has an NFL team after so many years. What happens when the team finishes 2-14?
I'm telling you, the city will not support a football team. That's why there's not one there, you morons.
Because they're not true sports fans in that town.
No, they're not.
Now, some are, but the majority aren't. Dude, Los Angeles, if you take a look at sports fans in general, the best sports fans are blue-collar people. Los Angeles is not a blue-collar town.
No.
It's about rich suburbs. It's about Pasadena where the Rose Bowl is. It's about Beverly Hills. It's about Long Beach and the beach houses and the restaurants and stores in Beverly Hills. That's what it's all about.
The only way a team can survive in L.A. and ask the Dodgers, ask the Lakers, ask the Clippers, and ask the if you win. If you start to lose, you might as well say goodbye to your fans. Because
maybe not the Lakers.
Yeah, they'll go and do something else. They'll go to the beach. They'll go to a party. They'll go here. They'll go there. They will go and do something else.
Jeff, you know what I've always
they'll go to Disneyland is what they'll do, because I've been there before.
Yeah, well, screw Mickey and Minnie and everybody else. Look, good, Jeff, you know what I've always called the Lakers for years? I've called them the Hollywood Lakers.
They are.
Because, dude, who goes to Laker games, even now when they're losing?
Jack Nicholson and Diane Kennan, the list goes on.
Yeah, take a look. Dude, hey, listen, if you want to be friends with Jack Nicholson, spend like $10,000 on one of those courtside seats.
The hell with that. It's just, I don't think L.A., listen, it's all hype right now. They're pushing. 5 years into this thing, when L.A.'s got a team, they're going to be like, oh, man, we shouldn't have came here. We can't even get a half stadium filled. That's what's going to happen. You know why? Because people got better things to do on a Sunday than go spend $500 at a goddamn football game. It's just that simple. And if you don't understand that, then you're a stupid moron. It's just that simple. And I speak the truth. You don't like it? Get the flock out of here. And speaking about getting the flock out of here, that's what we're going to do. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us today on our Monday show. We'll be back on Tuesday's show. I'm sorry. We'll be back on Friday. We're taking tomorrow and Thursday off for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We'll be back Friday. Frank's going to be with us for the whole 2 hours on Friday, so we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do our NFL picks in the second half of hour 2 on Friday. So join us for that. Everybody have a great, great New Year's. Stay safe and stay happy. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. Take care, everybody. Have a great New Year's. We will see you on Friday. Peace out.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's